Okay, pastor's hat time, meaning this is going to be a sermon, but it's not going to be over 10 minutes. I started a two-parter call in the season of Lent. So this is my Lent messages. Um, the faith of Martha. And this is part two, but part one, you can go back and see it really deals with the raising of Lazarus. But I think I focus in on the faith of Martha. Because when Martha comes to Jesus after her brother's been dead for 3 days, she's crying. She doesn't know what she's going to do. And, she says to Jesus, if you'd been here, my brother wouldn't have died. And Jesus says to her, read this in John chapter 11, Martha, your brother will rise again. And she goes, I know, in that resurrection day. And then Jesus says, I am the faith, the life, I am the resurrection. Whoever believes in me will not perish. Do you believe this, Martha? Now, Martha has no idea that she's going to raise her brother from the dead. All she knows in her heart's greeting is her brother's dead. Now, that's powerful. But do you believe that Jesus is the Messiah? Do you believe he's Lord? Do you believe he's God, even in the storm? Even though you don't know the outcome, someday we're going to know the awesome outcome because we're going to be with him. But Martha says yes. She says, I believe you are the Messiah, the one that's come to save the world. Read about that's great faith. Well, part two, you got to look at, and I asked myself, how did she get that faith? How does she know that? Because she obviously has spent some time with Jesus. And I believe that road that she started to spend time with Jesus happened back in Luke chapter 10. You got to read that. This is where beginning of Jesus's ministry. Martha invites Jesus, and it's interesting to her home. Now that's interesting in itself because how does she own a home? Women didn't in those days have homes. Men did, and if she was married and her husband died, well, she'd have to be pawned off to some relative, another brother or something. That'd be his home. But this is Martha's home. That's fascinating. And so anyway, she invites Jesus and the guys. This is so cool. She invites Jesus and the guys over for a meal. And she's working in the kitchen. She's working hard. She wants to get them a good meal. And she needs some help. And you can read about this in Luke 10. And she's, where's Mary? Mary needs to help me. Where's my sister Mary? She needs to help me. And she finds Mary where? She finds Mary sitting with the other guys and listening to Jesus. Now, first of all, women weren't supposed to be sitting with the rabbi, but she was sitting there. And Martha goes, Master, Jesus, will you tell Martha to get in the kitchen, Mary to get in the kitchen and work with me? There's work to be done. And Jesus, you read this, it's great. Jesus looks at Martha. It's Martha, Martha. Like, Marcia. Martha, he says, this is where Mary's meant to be right now. Well, I have a theory about something at that moment. And by the way, the guys are probably wondering, why is this woman sitting with us? She's not supposed to be sitting with a rabbi. We can, she's not. But I have a feeling. I think Martha, I can't wait to meet Martha someday in heaven. Because I have a feeling that Martha goes, well, if my sister Mary gets to sit there, I'm going to sit there. And she puts down the pots and pans, the stuff of the world. And she sits with Jesus. Now the disciples are going, wait a minute, there's two women here. What's this coming to? And Martha, I think after that, the only time we're going to hear about Mary and Martha after that, you'll jump over to John towards the end of the ministry. I think every time Martha had an opportunity to be with Jesus, she was with Jesus. So when he asked her back in John 11, Martha, do you believe that I am the resurrection? I'm the life, resurrection. Martha goes, yes. I believe you are. I believe you are the Messiah. That's the faith of Martha. You want that kind of faith? I want to grow in that kind of faith, that I need to be with Jesus whenever possible. even in Lent. Even in Lent. Oh, I got another episode in Lent to share with you, but this is the faith of Martha. Lord, help me grow in that faith. Like, Martha, I can't wait to meet you someday. God bless.